My Uncle Billy is the leading Little Debbie snack cake salesman in all of North America. From Miami, Florida to Vancouver, British Columbia, nobody sells more fudge round Swiss rolls or nutty bars than him. My family is incredibly proud of this fact. We tell it to strangers, to the respective husbands of our nieces, to the clerk at the drugstore. We whisper it in church. Did you hear about Billy? Yeah, he's the leading Little Debbie snack cake salesman in all of North America. And I will never write a poem that will ever come close to matching the grandeur of that. So you won the Nobel Prize, did you? That's nice. Did you hear Billy put 500 cream pies in the rack of the shop and save it in 5 days? That rack was freaking empty. Why is art the first class to be dropped by any public school? Why are music rooms empty in junior highs from New York City to Nashville, Tennessee? How can you burn CD after CD after CD while filling your tank with an infinite amount of gas, like the war is worth funding, but music isn't? Our culture is a prison, and the only one with a key is little Emmy Jones covering every inch of her standardized test with the best #2 pencil version of A Starry Night anyone has ever seen. And yes, there is a hummingbird in her chest. Its wings are beating 80 times a second, but the second you and I will see that Dr. King did not write a speech called I Have a Dream. He wrote a poem called I Have a Dream, y'all. I don't know if God will ever have a purple heart, but I know we have a bow we could pull above the strings of a combat boot and make it sing like the eyes of a 7-year-old boy staring down the barrel of apartheid's loaded gun, screaming for the right to write stories in his mother's tongue. Point me in the direction of glory. I will run towards a tiny hand in the most wounded corner of Palestine, dipping a brush into a can of yellow paint to paint a feather on a wing on a wall that is so tall only yellow birds can escape. But when they do, they carry the hearts of children on their backs, and when their wings flap, they make the sound of anthems being replaced with sky. And I swear, I could see the shadows pass across your glowing face the night you said you have never given birth to a child, but you tear every single time you write a poem. We are growing our future with every borrowed pen. I pray tonight we will write a rain that will fall like the tears at Folsom Prison, the day Johnny Cash smashed his guitar over apathy's head, the way Frida Kahlo in the prison of her own body had whole years when she could paint nothing but red, but she painted through the bars and the locked cells of her pores, the same way saxophones in New Orleans played music underwater, knowing some of those notes would rise up to the air, carrying people and hope to shore. I don't believe in the godliness of steeples, but I believe in the stained glass and every key on every organ that is desperate for light, because we are desperate for life, for the sight of a captivated audience, refusing to be held captive in the thought that they can only listen and watch. Picasso said he'd paint with his own wet tongue on the dusty floor of a jail cell if he had to. We have to create. It is the only thing louder than destruction. It is the only chance the bars are gonna break. Our hands full of color reaching towards the sky, a brushstroke in the dark. It is not too late. That starry night, it is not yet dry. Thank you so much.